Most people have no idea that the cheap bottle of white vinegar sitting in their kitchen cabinet is one of the most powerful plumbing tools in their home. Plumbers know this, but most of them would rather charge you a couple $100 for a service call than let you in on the secret. After 3 decades of working on pipes, drains, and fixtures, I have seen vinegar solve problems that homeowners thought required expensive professional help. Today, I am sharing 9 things plumbers really do not want you to know about white vinegar. And if you stick around for number 8, you will learn a clever trick that can detect hidden leaks before they destroy your water bill. Plus, I have a bonus tip at the end that most people have never even heard of. The first thing plumbers do not want you to know is that vinegar dissolves mineral buildup inside your pipes. If you live in an area with hard water, and roughly 85% of American homes do, then calcium and lime deposits are slowly narrowing the inside of your pipes right now. Over time, those deposits restrict water flow and make it feel like your whole house is losing pressure. A plumber will come out, diagnose the problem, and charge you anywhere from $150 to $300 for a descaling service. But here is what they will not tell you. For supply lines and smaller accessible sections of pipe, you can do a vinegar soak yourself. Start by shutting off the water supply to the affected area. Disconnect the pipe section if you can, or if it is a fixture supply line, just detach it at the shutoff valve. Fill it with undiluted white vinegar and let it sit for at least 8 to 12 hours. Overnight is even better. The acetic acid in vinegar, which is usually around 5% concentration in standard grocery store bottles, slowly dissolves those calcium and lime deposits without damaging copper, brass, or most other common pipe materials. After soaking, flush the section with clean water and reconnect everything. You will be amazed at how much flow comes back. For galvanized steel pipes in older homes, this works especially well on shorter runs, where deposits tend to be the worst, like the last few feet before a faucet. Just keep in mind that if your whole house has severe buildup throughout the entire plumbing system, you may eventually need a professional repipe. But for isolated problem areas, vinegar is your best friend. The second secret plumbers keep quiet about is that vinegar unclogs shower heads without removing them. You have probably noticed that over time your shower head starts spraying in weird directions, or some of the nozzles stop working entirely. That is mineral buildup clogging the tiny openings, and a plumber might tell you the whole shower head needs replacing. Not so fast. Grab a plastic bag, a rubber band, and some white vinegar. Fill the bag about halfway with undiluted vinegar, then pull it up over the shower head so the entire face of the head is submerged in the vinegar. Secure the bag with the rubber band around the neck of the shower head. Leave it there for 6 to 8 hours or overnight. When you remove the bag, turn on the water full blast, and you will see chunks of mineral deposit flush right out. For stubborn nozzles, use an old toothbrush to gently scrub the face of the shower head while the deposits are still soft. This works on both fixed and handheld shower heads, and it costs you about 50 cents worth of vinegar instead of a $100 service call or a brand new shower head. One important note, though. If your shower head has a brass or gold-plated finish, do not leave the vinegar on for more than 30 minutes because the acid can damage decorative coatings. Chrome and brushed nickel finishes handle the full overnight soak just fine. The third thing on our list is that vinegar and baking soda can clear slow drains. Now, I want to be honest with you here because I respect your time. This method works best on slow drains caused by organic buildup, things like soap scum, grease film, hair-coated and conditioner residue, and general gunk. It is not going to power through a completely blocked drain or cut through a tree root. But for that annoying slow drain in your bathroom sink or shower, it works beautifully. Start by pouring a pot of boiling water down the drain. Then pour in about half a cup of baking soda and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes so it works its way down into the gunk. Next, pour in 1 cup of white vinegar. You will hear that satisfying fizzing sound, and that reaction is actively breaking apart the buildup clinging to the inside of your drain pipe. Cover the drain opening with a wet cloth to keep the fizzing action directed downward into the pipe rather than bubbling back up at you. Wait 15 to 20 minutes. Then flush everything with another pot of boiling water. For maintenance, repeat this once a month, and you will dramatically reduce the chances of ever getting a serious clog. A drain cleaning service typically runs $150 to $350. A box of baking soda and a jug of vinegar costs you less than $3. By the way, if this advice is helping, it's a small sample from my new book, 100 Old House Fixes That Save You Thousands. It shows old house fixes that can help you avoid expensive repair bills. To grab your copy, scan the QR code on screen or use the first link in the description. All right, let's continue. The fourth thing plumbers hope you never figure out is that vinegar cleans and deodorizes garbage disposals. If your kitchen sink has a smell that will not go away no matter how much dish soap you use, the problem is almost certainly buildup on the inside walls of your disposal and the splash guard flaps. Food particles get trapped in places you cannot see, and they start to rot. Here is the fix. Take an ice cube tray and fill each compartment about halfway with white vinegar. Then top them off with water and freeze them solid. Once frozen, drop 6 to 8 of those vinegar ice cubes into the disposal, run cold water, and turn it on. The ice sharpens and cleans the grinding elements, while the vinegar deodorizes and cuts through grease. The cold temperature also helps solidify any grease residue so the blades can chop it up and flush it away. After grinding the cubes, pour half a cup of straight vinegar down the drain and let it sit for 10 minutes before rinsing with cold water. Do this every 2 weeks, and your disposal will stay fresh and clean without any harsh chemical cleaners. While you're at it, peel back those rubber splash guard flaps and scrub underneath them with an old toothbrush dipped in vinegar. You will not believe what is hiding under there, and that hidden gunk is usually the real source of the smell. The fifth secret is that vinegar removes hard water stains from fixtures. Those cloudy white or greenish spots on your faucet's handles and spouts are not just ugly. Left untreated, hard water deposits actually pit and corrode the finish over time, which means eventually you are buying new fixtures. Plumbers love that because it means more work for them down the road. Instead, soak a few paper towels or a rag in white vinegar, wrap them around the stained areas of the fixture, and leave them in place for 1 to 2 hours. The vinegar softens and dissolves the mineral deposits, so you can wipe them away with almost no scrubbing. For really stubborn spots, You can heat the vinegar in the microwave for about 30 seconds before soaking the towels. Warm vinegar works noticeably faster. Use this on chrome, stainless steel, and brushed nickel without worry. Just avoid using it on natural stone surfaces like marble or granite countertops near your fixtures, because the acid will etch and dull the stone. If you have a faucet base that has a thick ring of mineral crust built up around it, pack vinegar-soaked paper towels around the base and cover them with plastic wrap to keep them moist. Give it a few hours, and that crust will practically fall off. The sixth thing plumbers prefer you never learn is that vinegar keeps your water heater running efficiently. Sediment buildup at the bottom of your water heater tank is one of the biggest efficiency killers in your home. That layer of calcium and mineral sludge acts like insulation between the burner and the water, which means your heater works harder and your energy bills go up. Most plumbers recommend a flush once a year and charge $100 to $250 for it. Here is how vinegar makes that flush even more effective. After you shut off the power or gas to the heater and connect a garden hose to the drain valve at the bottom of the tank, close the cold water inlet and open the drain valve to empty the tank. Once it is drained, close the drain valve, disconnect the hose temporarily, and pour 2 to 3 gallons of white vinegar into the tank through the cold water inlet opening or the anode rod poured on top. Let the vinegar sit in the tank for at least 6 hours, preferably overnight. The acid will dissolve the sediment that a simple water flush cannot touch. Then reconnect your hose. Open the drain valve. Turn the cold water inlet back on and flush the tank until the water runs completely clear. This one step alone can add years to your water heater's lifespan and save you real money on energy costs every single month. For a standard 40 to 50 gallon tank, 3 gallons of vinegar costs you less than $10. The seventh thing plumbers keep to themselves is that vinegar prevents toilet bowl ring buildup. You know, that stubborn brownish or pinkish ring that forms right at the waterline inside your toilet bowl. Once it sets in hard, it can be nearly impossible to scrub away without heavy-duty chemicals or a pumice stone that risk scratching the porcelain. But regular vinegar treatments stop it from ever forming in the first place. Once a week, pour 2 cups of white vinegar directly into the toilet bowl. Do not flush right away. Let the vinegar sit for at least 4 hours, or pour it in before bed and let it work overnight. The acid prevents mineral deposits from bonding to the porcelain surface. If you already have a ring forming, pour in 3 cups of vinegar and use a toilet brush to spread it around the bowl, paying extra attention to the waterline. Let it sit overnight, then scrub and flush in the morning. For really tough existing rings, make a paste with vinegar and baking soda. Apply it directly to the stain, and let it sit for a couple of hours before scrubbing. The key here is consistency. A weekly vinegar treatment takes about 15 seconds of effort and saves you from ever having to fight those rings again. It also keeps the jets under the rim clear, so your toilet flushes at full power every time. The 8th secret on our list is that vinegar can test for slow leaks in your toilet. A leaking toilet flapper can waste up to 200 gallons of water per day. And because the water trickles silently from the tank into the bowl, you might never notice it. Plumbers charge $100 or more just to diagnose this, but you can test for it yourself in about 10 minutes. Remove the toilet tank lid and pour 2 cups of white vinegar into the tank water. Do not flush. Let the toilet sit completely undisturbed for 30 minutes. Now, go look in the bowl. If you see the water in the bowl has changed color, or you can smell vinegar in the bowl water, that means water is leaking past the flapper from the tank into the bowl. The flapper is a rubber seal at the bottom of the tank, and over time it warps, cracks, or collects mineral deposits that prevent it from sealing properly. A replacement flapper costs about $5 to $8 at any hardware store and takes less than 5 minutes to install with no tools at all. You just unhook the old one and snap the new one into place. The simple vinegar test can catch a leak that would otherwise add hundreds of dollars to your annual water bill. Most plumbers will not teach you this because a service call to diagnose and fix a running toilet is easy money for them. The ninth and final thing plumbers do not want you to know is that vinegar softens old pipe joint compounds and corroded fittings. If you have ever tried to disassemble old plumbing connections in an older home, you know the frustration of fittings that will not budge. Threaded galvanized pipes, brass fittings, and old compression joints can become practically welded together by decades of corrosion and hardened pipe dope. Forcing them with a wrench often cracks the fitting or damages the pipe, which turns a simple repair into a much bigger and more expensive job. Vinegar can help. Wrap the stubborn joint generously with rags soaked in undiluted white vinegar. Then wrap plastic wrap or a plastic bag over the rags to keep them wet and hold the vinegar against the metal. Let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. The acetic acid slowly dissolves the corrosion and softens the old joint compound, making the fitting dramatically easier to turn. For especially stubborn connections, refresh the vinegar-soaked rags halfway through and add another 12 hours. This technique has saved me from cutting out fittings more times than I can count over my career. It works on galvanized steel, brass, bronze, and copper connections. Just be patient and let the vinegar do its work. A little time and a couple dollars worth of vinegar can save you from a repair that would otherwise cost $100 to $300 in plumber labor, plus new fittings and pipe. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. Most people use white vinegar at room temperature for all of these tasks, and it works fine. But here is something almost nobody knows. When you heat white vinegar to about 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot but not boiling, its cleaning and dissolving power increases dramatically. The heat speeds up the chemical reaction between the acetic acid and mineral deposits by roughly double, so that overnight showerhead soak could take just 3 to 4 hours with warm vinegar. That stubborn, corroded fitting could loosen in 6 hours instead of 24. The trick is to heat it gently on the stove or in the microwave and apply it while it is still warm. Never boil it though, because boiling releases strong fumes that can irritate your eyes and lungs. Just get it warm to the touch and use it right away. This one little temperature trick turns regular white vinegar into a seriously powerful plumbing maintenance tool that rivals commercial descaling products costing 10 to 20 times more. Keep a gallon of white vinegar under your kitchen sink at all times. At roughly $3 a gallon, it is the cheapest plumbing tool you will ever own. Before you go, I want you to know about my new book, 100 Old house fixes that save you thousands. It shows practical fixes for older homes, so you can stop guessing and avoid expensive repair bills. Just scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching.